welcome to episode 178 of your Concealed Taco Dudes podcast. Woo! So today we have me, Taco.
Jason with Concealment Solutions. Been a busy time.
Oh yeah. Life's been nuts, but we managed to come together to record this episode for you, the listener.
Because we want you to get your money's worth.
Yes, exactly. Let's go ahead and dive into sponsors.
Okay.
NOEBulletMolds.com, the finest makers of the finest bullet molds in the universe.
Wow.
And you can use coupon code FLT001 and it'll save you a few bucks.
Yep. Utah Air Guns at UtahAirGuns.com. All things air gun, and they are gearing up hard for RMAC, which is next month.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, and it's there. I was talking with Austin yesterday, and he was just saying, yeah, it's getting really big. He said it's almost to the point where it might just become an invitational.
Oh wow.
Because there's so many people. They opened registration, and it was full in 10 minutes.
Wow. That's nuts, man.
So if you're in the area, if you're in the Utah County area, look up the RMAC, Rocky Mountain Air Gun Challenge. It's worth going to just to watch and just to see what it's all about. If you have curiosity about air guns, that will answer a lot of your questions and curiosity.
And you can see some top performers.
Oh, the top performers. Not in the country, in the world. There's people from all over the world show up. And they're giving out $100,000 in prize money.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I got my crown out of, storage? It actually wasn't in storage, but
the corner that
it's been sitting in. Yeah, I pulled that out to check the accuracy, see if it was still sighted in. And my paper targets in the shooting log were all gone, but the thumbtack heads, the plastic ones, they were still there. So I just went tink, 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 shot all 5 of them, and then I'm like, oh, now I got to get new thumbtacks, but still accurate,
still good.
Yeah,
nice. So check out Utah Air Guns at UtahAirGuns.com. When you order online, use the code AirCandy. You get free shipping and free turret stickers.
Nice.
Black Ice Coatings, BlackIceCoatings.com. If you need a gun finish, even if you don't think you do, you do.
You should go check it out.
Check it out. Teflon coating, Cerakoting, hydro dipping, everything you can imagine, and top-notch work.
Yeah. My daughters are because they all have the same red-colored Petzl climbing helmet.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, Dad, can you talk to him and see if... I know you said that he doesn't want to do any more climbing helmets. Can you check and see if we can get ours dipped? So
I went cheap. We just put stickers on ours.
Yeah. Stickers are okay, but I have to admit my climbing helmet is the most unique one I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is cool.
So
anyway, check out Black Ice Coatings at BlackIceCoatings.com. Call them up, tell them you want it slickery. Mag holder at magholder.com. Horizontal magazine carriers, and he's always adding stuff.
Yeah,
go check him out, see what he's got going on. Use the code Get in the Van I Have Candy and you'll save a few bucks there. Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com. I have a few new products.
What do you got
on the website? First, there's a new competition holster, the Elite Racer.
Ooh.
It's kind of a cross between the Racer and the drop leg.
Okay.
So it's got an offset drop, but it doesn't pivot like the drop leg does.
Uh-huh.
So if you're doing 3-gun and stuff and you might have to draw from an awkward position, the draw is always the same because the holster's not moving. But the thigh strap pivots. So you still have a little bit of movement there, a little more mobility than you would otherwise. But those are really cool. Those have been really popular with the competition crowd. So go check those out. New knife from BPS, the BPS Beta. Just got those in. I have a very limited quantity, so if you want one...
I don't know if people are going to want a knife called the Beta. They should rename it to the Alpha.
I don't name them. But it's D2 tool steel, which they to my knowledge, they have never done before.
Okay. That's cool.
D2's nice. I have a few knives with D2 steel, and they hold an edge very, very well. Looks nice. It's got a purple micarta handle, so it's the first knife I've got from them that's got a micarta handle instead of walnut.
Okay.
But they're really cool. It's a really handy size. It's a good bushcrafting knife.
Is the size kind of like the same as those other ones?
Like the HK5?
Yeah.
It's a little bit shorter. It's
I like big.
Yeah, I know you do. It's not as tapered either.
Okay.
It's not as pointy, I guess I should say. I don't know. Check them out. They're on the website.
Okay. They're on the website. They're on the
website now, available. Okay. You can order them now. And then,
do you remember how much they cost roughly?
They're a little bit more. I want to say with the sheath, they're I think $90.
Oh, okay.
And then if you add the ferro rod, that'll add $30 to it.
Okay.
With the integration on the sheath as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say those knife combo kits, they make the best like Christmas and birthday presents.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jason before we started recording, and I said, told him I gave away my second to last one, and so I'm gonna have to buy a few more. But they make, I hope no family members listen to this, but and I don't think they do, but they make the best like emergency I forgot about your birthday gifts. And so like, you're like, oh crap, I need to get a birthday present for so and so, and you're like, oh, I have one. I'll just and then it's like it looks really thoughtful I mean,
they're unique.
They're
high quality, and they're not super expensive.
Yeah. And so I recently had a family member who was visiting in town who had a birthday, and that person turned out that none of that person's kids got her, is my sister. None of her kids got her a present for her birthday, but then I was able to dig through my knives, and I got one of those combos that I bought a bunch of them like a while back to give away as presents, and she thought that was the coolest.
Yeah.
So she likes camping and the outdoors too, and so that was like a really special gift to give, and
Yeah.
And I didn't even have to go anywhere to get it.
And they're useful.
They are useful. And she was gonna go on this camping trip with a bunch of the youth, and so she's like, yeah, now I can wear this.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but check this out, because it's nighttime. And I said, go throw some sparks over the deck, and she was surprised how much they really
just awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways,
and then lastly, the newest product to hit the website is Pappy's Blade Balm. So that is made in-house, our own special blend of 100% natural ingredients. Okay, it's beeswax and flax oil.
Oh, okay.
And essential oil. But it's a preservative for especially your high carbon steel blades. It'll help keep them from rusting and corroding and stuff like that. It's great on your handles. It's great
food safe.
It's food safe.
So you can eat it?
You could. Yeah, it's
Have you tasted it?
I haven't. But it's everything. All the ingredients are not just natural, but they are organic.
Okay, so it doesn't taste bad. I just tasted a little bit.
You could use it as lip balm.
That's what I was wondering.
It's kind of the same ingredients.
I was wondering if you could use it on your lips,
but you could use it on your butcher block. Here's the pro tip on how you can use this. Get a little. Put
it on toast.
You could put it on toast.
Some listeners gonna buy it and then put it on toast.
If you're irregular, it'll lubricate your colon. Get a little on your finger. Wipe the inside of your holster with it, your Kydex holster, and it smooths it out.
Oh, nice.
It just makes it faster, smoother, and it will help protect the finish of your gun.
And jump higher and run faster.
Exactly.
Yes.
Anyway, all I have right now are sample sizes. It's about a 1/4 ounce, but they're only $4. So if you've never used a product like this, there's lots of stuff out there like this. Like there's Axe Wax and What are some of the others?
It sounded like you said something else.
No. Axe. Wax. and other blade balms and blade butter and all kinds of stuff like that. If you've never used a product like that before on your knives, you should try it. $4 for this sample size, and the sample size will actually last you
a while. Yeah.
But I'm loving it on my knives, and especially if you are a knife collector and you have knives that maybe you don't use regularly, put a coating of this on, stick it in the sheath, and then you don't have to worry about it getting nasty in the sheath while it sits. Anyway, when you go to check out at concealmentsolutions.com, use the code SHOWMETHECANDY. You'll save 15% off your order.
Nice.
Okay. Where would you like to start?
Mag holder.
We did mag holder.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Man.
We're done with sponsors.
Done with sponsors.
Don't look back. Always move forward.
All right. Okay.
I've got a news story if you want to start with a news story. This one's quite interesting.
Okay.
Many of you have probably heard this story. This happened a few weeks ago, and it was pretty spectacular. So I think it made its rounds through the major news channels.
Okay.
85-year-old Idaho mother who shot and killed a home intruder committed a justifiable homicide that is one of the most heroic acts of self-preservation I have heard of. Bingham County prosecuting attorney Ryan Jolly stated in an incident review, not indictment. There's no indictment.
Incident review.
An incident review. The suspect, identified as 39-year-old Derek Condon, it's with an N, all N's there.
Yeah.
Entered the home of Christine Janianen. Anyway,
come on,
she entered the house of Christine, who shares the house with her disabled son, at around 2 a.m. on March 13th, so it's been a few weeks. He was dressed in a military jacket, black ski mask, and pointing a gun and flashlight at her, according to the document. Jolly says Condon placed Christine in handcuffs and took her into the living room of her home, where he took her at gunpoint and handcuffed her to a wooden chair. Huh. He's manhandling this 85-year-old woman at 2 o'clock in the morning, handcuffs her to a chair in the front room. After demanding to know where the valuables were kept in the home, Condon allegedly placed his pistol on the victim's head when she told him she did not have much. Christine then told the home intruder about 2 safes downstairs, and the prosecutor says he left her handcuffed in the living room while he went to rummage through the home. Condon reportedly became angry when he found out that her son was in the home and she didn't tell him. The suspect is said to have made numerous threats to kill her. At one point, while Condon was downstairs, Christine dragged the chair she was handcuffed to into her bedroom and retrieved her .357 Magnum revolver from under her pillow.
Nice. Good choice.
She then went back into the living room and hid the revolver between the armrest and cushion of a couch next to where she was seated and waited to see what Condon did next. The victim's memory remains somewhat unclear as to what happened next, the prosecutor's statement says. But at some point, she made the decision that it was now or never, drew her gun, and struck Condon with 2 shots. Condon returned fire, emptying a 9mm pistol into Christine, striking her multiple times in her abdomen, leg, arm, and chest.
Oh, dang.
Condon then went into the adjoining kitchen where he died from his wounds. Okay, so she shot him twice. Dead.
Yeah.
He unloaded his pistol and hit her multiple times. She fell to the floor while still handcuffed and was there for about 10 hours.
What?
Before her son found her and gave her a phone to call 911. Deputies arrived at approximately 12:17 p.m. and provided life-saving measures. Investigators found a broken rear window at the home and a screwdriver near the door where Condon had entered. His car was also found near the home with footprints going from the vehicle toward the residence. Condon had on his person a lockpick set, his car key, a handcuff key, and a bag containing items he had stolen from the residence. He said the case represents an easy analysis of self-defense and justifiable homicide, adding that Christine's grit, determination, and will to live appeared to be what saved her that night. Had Condon survived, Jolly said, he would have charged him with multiple felonies including attempted murder, kidnapping, burglary, aggravated battery, and grand theft. So, her son is mentally disabled.
Yeah.
And that's why he was scared, obviously, and she had to kind of coax him out to bring her a phone so that she could call for help. But sounds like her injuries were probably not necessarily life-threatening. I don't know how you would survive multiple life-threatening gunshot wounds for 10 hours laying on the floor.
Yeah. You know what I wonder is, I wonder if the guy was just shooting ball ammo.
Probably.
And so it just went straight through. And then she was using some kind of a hollow point.
Yeah.
Or like a lead flat, something that...
A wad cutter.
Yeah, something that expands. And
soft, mushrooming, yeah.
Something like that.
But what she did counted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And...
she got 2 shots.
2 shots off, and that's all it took. Pretty scary, though, that there are people out there that would do something like that.
Yeah. If you have paid attention to the news at all,
oh yeah,
it's nuts. There's lots of riots going on and just people doing evil stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean that stuff's been going on for a while. Like
there's very much an all for one and none for all attitude in our society today, and that doesn't work out well for anybody ever.
Yeah, everybody's just thinking about themselves, even the politicians. Especially the politicians. They're, what all can I cash out right now? And
so with everything that we've seen going on, all the craziness, and are you concerned about the upcoming election as to what may or may not happen? Regardless of who gets elected, I think we're going to have
something happen.
Yes. And I'm sure most, if not everybody listening to this is not a Biden fan. There are probably lots of Trump fans. I'm not a big Trump fan, but I just think he's an ass. I don't think he's necessarily a bad politician. I just think he's a pompous ass. So I don't love him. But I think I just look at it and I'm like, these are really the best 2 people that we can present to represent our country. We can't do any better than this. That's just depressing to me.
Well,
and I probably pissed off everybody who loves Trump, and I'm sorry, but
for as far as my opinions on Trump, it's like probably personality. I think is maybe he's not the greatest, but I look at his actions,
right?
The things that he did when he was in office, and there was a lot of good,
right?
A few bad.
I totally agree with that. Yeah,
it's a whole lot better than the everything bad with Biden.
I agree.
Nothing good has happened with Biden.
I agree, but at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, we can't come up with anything. These are our 2 best options.
Yeah, it's
somebody who should be in a mind care pediatric or geriatric ward.
I'll answer your question for you with a question.
Okay.
So why don't you run?
Why don't I run?
Yeah, for any kind of political office.
I've thought about it, to be honest.
Maybe you should.
Locally. And the thing that steers me away from it more than anything is it turns my stomach.
So
to want to be to put myself in that arena. And I have a very good friend, very close friend that just got elected to Orem City Council, and she's awesome. And I hope she stays awesome. I have every faith that she will, because I know her well, and I know her character. But politics has a way of changing
people. And yeah, I was gonna say the same reason some of the same reasons why you say you are not going to run for office is like why a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
A lot of good people is, because
yeah,
they don't want their name dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be in the spotlight or
right.
They all of these like things, or they want to spend time with their
dealing
family.
with the corruption.
Yeah.
And especially when you're looking at like local politics, also it's like because I actually work with Orem City quite a bit with trail projects and stuff like that. I was just at a meeting with some of them yesterday on some new projects we're working on. So I know a lot of those people. I deal with them, so I know we have a working relationship. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I have, I like these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would hate to put myself in a position where I'm now a political leader, whether it's city council or mayor or whatever, and then start to see the corrupted side of some of these people. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I know it.
Where people that you know and trust and think are good, and I'm not saying that necessarily the people that I'm dealing with are twisted, because they're not really politicians. They're city employees. But that would be hard, to get into an environment with people that you know and trust, and then see the things being twisted.
The dark side of the politics and dark
being
side
well,
of those
this
people.
is just the way it is. And this, because I've seen so many of our politicians. Orrin Hatch, I think, was a prime example of somebody who got elected. One of his platforms was what do they call term limitations.
Yeah, and he ended up staying in till he was ancient.
Forever, and he was playing the games. And he got, and I'm not saying that he was corrupt necessarily, but he went in on a stance that faded away over time, and his politics and the things that he represented when he went in were not the same as when he left.
Yeah.
And that's tough to see. And I'm starting to see that with some others that kind of went in as senators and representatives, 10 years ago, that kind of had that same attitude, and they're still there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing things start to change. And it's like, come on, So part of the reason why I don't necessarily want to get involved with politics is because I don't want to expose myself to that and risk my character being degraded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or my values.
Yeah.
So
anyways, enough of politics. That just makes me depressed.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But so back to my original question. Are there things that you are thinking about? Or is there anything that you are preparing for, say, based on potential conflict after the upcoming election?
Yeah, I was going to say, I have that little Subaru.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to figure out how to mount the 50 cal on top of the Subaru and, so I could have that mobile 50 cal.
Well, I have two 30 cal machine guns mounted behind my headlights on the 4Runner. You just flip a switch and they drop out. And
oh, jeez.
And I have a smoke screen and an oil slick on the backside.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Huh.
No, but it seriously has got me thinking about some things.
Yeah.
And
where we live in particular, it will probably be one of the later places to get
any kind of
crazy.
Salt Lake maybe.
But then we did have that one. What was it, a Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
Like the shooting our
right down the street.
Yeah, Provo Center Street.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Well, but the guy who pulled the trigger was from Ogden.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 hours away.
Yeah. But
nobody is safe.
Yeah, that goes to show though that even if the people in your community, for the most part are of certain, I don't know, moral beliefs or something, doesn't mean that people from outside of town can't come right in and
during the whole Black Lives Matter debacle, and rioting and all that, there were groups that traveled.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
From place to place. And I can't remember if it was Tooele or Grantsville or
they
something.
They said, not in our town.
They heard they were coming, and so they greeted them with the streets lined with armed citizens. And they kind of just drove through the town and left.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. But that's, the anti-gun people are like, oh, you're just all about violence. There was no violence there because of the guns.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there's things like that I'm thinking about, and where we are specifically is pretty tame when it comes to all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we're not immune to it either.
I don't think anywhere is immune to it.
No.
And the other question is, not question. The question I ask people when they say, well, maybe I don't need guns at my house because I live in a safe neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then the question I ask them is, where do criminals go to find nice things?
Yeah.
Nice neighborhoods.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I think, maybe I need to get out and do some more handgun shooting, like some moving and shooting, that kind of stuff.
Sure. I know I do.
Instead of just...
It's been a while.
I shoot a lot of targets like stationary where I don't move.
Right.
But I shoot moving targets or shoot various targets to do transition shooting.
Right.
Which is very helpful to me.
Sure.
But moving and shooting, that's different. I should do more of that.
And that's how I really got started with all this stuff. All this, concealed carry and personal protection and stuff like that was, shooting IDPA and things like that. And I love it. I love moving and shooting. It just makes more sense to me. It's more fun.
Yeah.
It's more engaging, and it's more practical for what could potentially happen.
Yeah.
Right.
I think what I need to do also, or what I want to do, is maybe take one of my AR-15s and 9mm and kind of try to replicate what I have for self-defense in my home. So have an AR-15 shooting 5.56 and then one shooting 9mm that kind of mimics the overall look and feel.
Yeah.
Sights, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so then I can
of everything.
The tricky part with shooting, practicing self-defense with like a 5.56 when you have like steel targets is you don't want to shoot steel targets at regular self-defense type distances because it just damages your steel. And so that's where I was thinking, if I kind of replicate the 5.56 AR in a 9mm AR, then I can get practice using the same sights. And obviously the concussion and blast is going to be a little bit different, but it's I feel like a 9mm is better than like a 22 in my case.
Yeah.
Because a 9mm will kick a little bit more than the 22 with the blowback system.
I think the 9mm, like a 9mm AR, has more recoil than a 223 does.
Yeah, maybe recoil, but not the muzzle blast.
For sure.
Yeah. So I think that might be a good compromise with being able to shoot and practice shooting closer targets.
Yeah.
And still,
So there's your excuse, everybody who's listening, to go get you a 9mm AR.
9mm AR.
You need it for practice.
Yeah.
To mimic your
Taco says you have permission. So, anyways, that's what I was thinking. I was also thinking of the weather's still been pretty
this
off and on.
This spring has been crap.
Yeah, it's
so cold and rainy. We've had 5 days where it's touched 70 degrees.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is, once it warms up a little bit, I want to melt down some more lead, process some scrap that I got.
I need to come cast a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and then the more bullets I can make is the more I can shoot.
Sure.
And so spending some time casting and reloading will definitely help me to be able to shoot more.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. I think I need to just reload tons and tons of 223 and 9mm. Just crank out a ton. And
I need to load up some 38 specials so I can go test that trigger in the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have lots and lots of options for the 38. So you got to decide if you want heavy bullets, light pew pew loads, or wad cutters, whatever.
I like kind of the middle of the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
we'll figure it out.
We should when the weather is warm, and
we need to do some hard cast 10mm also.
Yeah, I've had some hard cast 10mm bullets are made for like a while, and I haven't
had that. There was in a recent, I don't know how recent it was now, but
one of the articles you
gave a recipe for hard cast 10mm and the load that he loads them with, and that's worth trying.
Yeah, we might have to.
I've got some buffalo
work up
boar.
To that load.
Yeah, I've got some buffalo bore hard cast stuff. That's what I'm loaded with in my XDM 10mm when I'm in the backcountry. But
you should make sure to fire them, test fire, and make sure that they actually cycle.
I have.
Work. Okay.
Yeah, I have. Not as much as I should. Mm-hmm. Because I'm very limited on how many I have, and they're expensive.
Yeah, so if you could replicate that load, or
that's kind of what
come
I'm
up
thinking.
With a similar recoil,
right?
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Because I don't know, I don't worry too much about. I would carry reloads in the backcountry for self-defense, and if I ended up having to shoot a two-legged predator, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah,
personally.
Yep.
That's not advice. You guys shouldn't do that.
So, anyways, yeah, that's what I guess some of the goals for this spring summer is to make more ammo, stock up, make sure I have a lot to practice with, and I'm getting ready for a ground squirrel hunt.
Oh yeah,
one of the annual ones that I go on.
Imagine you're not doing much reloading for that.
I am mostly going to shoot 17 HMR, but I have been doing some reloads in 22 250 and 20 practical.
Have you cast any air gun pellets?
I have.
Have you shot them?
I have.
How do you like
air gun pellets? Are I would say like you have to be expert level caster to like
I'm sure.
I
have a mold that I got from Al. I haven't used it.
Did you get the pellet one or did you get the slug one?
It's a pellet one.
Okay.
It's a 22.
Yeah, just if you're casting those tiny little 22 cal skirts, then to get proper fill out, you need to. I mean, the mold has to be hot. You got to maintain that that mold block temperature.
Yeah.
And so otherwise, and you're not pouring enough lead inside the mold to keep it hot. And so one of the techniques you can do is you pour a whole, even though you and the lead on the top, the sprue helps maintain that the mold temperature. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So that makes sense.
Anyways, that's
one of these
quick
days.
Tip.
One of these days we'll get it conditioned and prepped and try it.
Yeah. Let's just say things have died. From those pellets.
Nice.
So I did those little wad cutter pellets.
Yeah.
And they slap things pretty hard.
Yeah. I think that's what these are.
Got that wide kind of flat
nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not as good for shooting longer distances, but But yeah, they slap right through things, but yeah. Anyways.
Very cool. So, all right. I think this is going to be a short episode.
Yeah.
I haven't, as far as what I did with guns, I haven't done a whole lot lately. I've been super busy in the shop and outside.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, this is not gun related, but this was just kind of something, right?
Yeah.
So we had this 400-pound, what is it called? Bathroom vanity. Like from Costco that we were trying to lower down this old house stairs, the steep stairs. And I didn't want anyone to die or get injured, right? So I came up with this idea and it was impressive.
You got your canyoneering ropes out?
I got my canyoneering ropes out. And there was a tree opposite of the entrance, the door. And so I tied up, set up the tree as an anchor, and then I belayed we got a tow strap connected to the vanity, and then belayed it down the stairs.
Nice.
It worked like perfect, like flawless. Nobody got hurt. No one got ran over by a 400-pound thing. It was awesome.
Nice.
So, anyways, I was gonna say, just it's kind of cool to learn different skills.
Yeah.
And then you can like apply them to areas that are, you know, like if you learn outdoor skills, then you know you never know when it'll come in handy to do something that's not outdoorsy.
Right.
And
well,
just practical
and
knowledge.
just with all the stuff that we do in the canyons with rigging and rappelling and belaying and all that, all would come in handy in natural disaster scenarios.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, dealing with lowering things and hauling things.
So if you're a prepper and you're not canyoneering, you're wasting your time. That's what I'm saying.
No, what he's really saying is that, you know, all those knots that you learn in Boy Scouts, those are helpful.
I don't use a single one of those in canyoneering.
The bowline?
I grew up rock climbing, and there's like 2 knots. All I know.
All right. I might need to teach you a couple knots.
I'm sure.
But yeah, my point was is, you know, if you keep learning new skills, new knots, whatever, then you'll find different scenarios where those come in handy.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, anyways, this is gonna be a short episode.
Yep.
And so we'll end it here.
Yeah, we'll try not to have quite as long a break between this one and the next one, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
so until next time, stay safe, have fun.
Take somebody shooting and be nice to people.